The mouth. The mouth, the mouth. The Bible says that the tongue is a unruly evil and no man can tame. I'm going to talk about that mouth. Sharonda, good morning. God bless you. I'm going to talk about that mouth. I'm going to talk about that mouth. I'm going to help some people today and help them to wonder why certain things hadn't happened yet, where they feel stuck in certain areas, and it's linked to the mouth. We're going to talk about that mouth. We're going to talk about that mouth. We're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm trying to be out your way real soon. But the Bible says that a good name is to be feared more than rubies. In other words, your name, how people perceive you, how people look at you, is greater than you having a whole lot of money. It's greater. In other words, integrity. Integrity is faithfulness. Integrity is a person who's good. Integrity is someone who stands by their word. Integrity, 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 and it comes from the mouth. You know, I know people. I've known preachers who've said one thing and they've done another thing. They've said one thing, they was going to do one thing, but they've done something else. And the thing about it that I noticed that even with people, Jesus says that you'll know a tree by the fruit it bear. But also he said that he would that you bear fruit and that your fruit remain. And see, the thing about it, the thing that I've noticed, I study people and I study situations and I study fruit. And over a period of time, if a person's actions and ways always respond a certain way concerning a certain situation, then it lets me know that that's them. It lets me know that's them. If a person's always saying that they're going to do a certain thing and they don't do it, then that lets me know that they're not trustworthy. They're not trustworthy at all. And see, the thing about it, even as a leader and as a preacher, did you not know that if someone comes to you and confides to you in confidence, from their heart, and then you go and tell their business out in the streets or in the church or whatever, did you not know you're breaking the law? You're breaking the law of ethics. You're breaking the law of morality. You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law naturally so because it's against the law. You could get arrested because you are violating someone's confidence. Did you not know that? I don't know if you knew that. But see, your word means a whole lot. Your word means a whole lot. And what comes out your mouth? God says that if you be faithful over a few things, he will make you ruler over many. Oftentimes, God is not elevating people as lay members, as leaders, because of their mouth, because they can't trust them. If God can't trust your mouth with men, why would you think that God would trust you with his word? He won't. It's a test. It's a test. You have to prove, you have to find yourself faithful unto God. That's why the Bible says to study, to show yourself approved of God. That means that God agrees or that God accepts or that God gives you the permission. There's a trial. Can God trust you? And it starts with your mouth. It's just like the boy that cried wolf. He always cried wolf, saying, "Oh, the wolf is coming," and people would come. It get to a point where then that one time that wolf come and he want people to come, people ain't gonna listen to him. That's what happens when you get to a place where people can't trust you, become untrustworthy. And that's what God does too. He takes his hand off of you. If he can't trust you, why would he trust you with his anointing? Why would he trust you with his word? I'm talking about your mouth. Can your mouth be trusted? See, the Bible says that there's life and death in the power of your tongue. You can kill things with your mouth. People talk about physically murder, but also there's a spiritual murder. It's called scandalizing. It's called slander. Actually, that mouth, the mouth that sows discord is one of the things that God hates. That mouth. Don't let that mouth get you into trouble. Learn how to become faithful. Learn how to hold your mouth right and not talk. Not tell people business. Some stuff God wants you to be quiet. The Bible says to study to be quiet. Some stuff God just wants you to shut up. Just be quiet. Be quiet. Even with gifts, some things that God revealed to you, some stuff, God just wants you to keep it. God just wants you to observe. He don't want you to tell everything. Some stuff you must keep. But you got some people that can't hold water. And those people that can't hold water, God can't trust you. If you can't keep your mouth closed, why would God trust you? And you want God to bless you, but he can't trust you with something simple. Even so with forgiveness. God said, how do you expect my Father in heaven to forgive you when you can't forgive your brother you see every day? Your mouth, your heart, your mouth. And the Bible says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And you know where that comes from? What you associate with. What are you hanging around and what do you associate with? Because if you associate with gossip, if you associate with negative things, it's going to get in your heart and negativity is going to come out your mouth. So if this sometimes you find yourself weak and you find yourself have the urge to want to talk or say certain things that you shouldn't say as opposed to praying. Because the Bible says be swift to hear, slow to speak. Some stuff you get, even when you become angry, sometimes just be quiet. Let it settle. God wants certain things to settle. When you hear certain things that you don't like, when certain things rub you a certain way, let it settle first. Pray about it. Seek God's face about it first before you open up your mouth. And if you open up your mouth, the first mouth that you open up to is God. Tell God about it. And let God speak to you before you go anywhere else with it. And the thing about it, these same people, these same preachers and leaders, these same jokers that can't hold a nickel worth of dog meat, can't hold nothing, they'll be the one that said, well, you can trust me. You can come talk to me. I'm the one, I listen to you. And those are the jokers that you can't trust. And you know what? I think sometimes people, they run their mouth and they tell people stuff because they have they have insecurity issues. It feels like they always got to be pacified by people. People always got to get people to listen to them and be around them because there's something in them is empty. God wants to deliver you. If it's you, God wants to deliver you. If you're waiting on a blessing, some of you that listen to me, that will listen to me. If you're waiting on a blessing and you wonder why that blessing hadn't come yet, it's because of your mouth. Check yourself. The Bible tells us to examine ourselves whether we be in the faith. It's a personal issue. It's a personal issue. It's not my brother or my sister. It's not what they did, but it's how we respond. Because the Bible says it's not what goes in the man that defiles him, but what comes out of him. That's what you have to give an account for. You. It's not what somebody else has done, but it's you. Even some of you that's been hurt by church. But then after church hurt you, you ran your mouth and talked about him. Talked about him. That mouth. Instead of praying about it, you running your mouth to everybody and trying to make that church look bad or make that assembly look bad. When not everybody in that church is wrong. When not everybody in that church is bad. But because you have an account, instead of just leaving quietly, you want to run your mouth. Then you wonder why you're walking up on the curse. God is saying, shut up. Close your mouth and pray about it. There's a man, I'm going to close, give me 2 minutes. His name is Flip Wilson. There's an old saying that he said, loose lips sink ships. Oftentimes, many people's ships sink because of their mouth. They run their mouth. And what happens, the Bible said you're ensnared by the word of your mouth. In other words, you're trapped. In other words, what you put out there, what you put out to hurt somebody, it's going to come back to you. And it's going to come back greater. Because the Bible said you sow in the wind, but you reap the whirlwind. See, the reaping is always greater than the sowing. The Bible says it, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that will he also reap. It's coming back. So you must give an account. We all got to give an account for the deeds that are done in our body, how we treat people. Ethics and protocol. How you act and how you treat people. That's what Jesus was talking in the Beatitudes. How you act and how you treat people. Because how you act and how you treat people is going to determine, number one, if you're of Christ, but also it's going to determine whether you become blessed or cursed. If you're a kind of person that, you might be an emotional person, and you might be the type of person that you have a conviction about certain things, and you feel a way, you have a certain belief about certain things, and when certain topics come up, you got to talk about it. You got to defend certain things. But some stuff, just be quiet. And see, the thing about it, you got to use wisdom. You got to use wisdom. Listen first. Listen first. The Bible tells us, and Peter, to always be ready to give an answer of the hope that's within us with meekness and fear. But also the Bible tells us to let our speech be seasoned with salt. See, there has to be a seasoning. There has to be maturity to your walk with Christ at some point. You can't keep doing after 10 years and you still at the same place. You still the same type of person. You still talking the same type of way. Something wrong. Something wrong. To stand still is to go back. I'm done. But guard your mouth. Guard your mouth. Can you be trusted? See, God rather trust a person who's trustworthy and has integrity, whether you have a whole lot of money. Your money don't mean nothing. Your money don't mean nothing without integrity. That's just like spiritual gifts. If you're mean and evil and hateful, you can be gifted, no matter how gifted you are. But if you mean, even gifted, and you don't have love, your gifts don't mean nothing. You go to hell with your gifts. It don't mean nothing at all. The first gift is love. You got to get that right first. Love. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe on him should not perish, but have everlasting life. God wants to change your relationship. He wants to change your tongue. He wants to change your language. And how does he change your language? It is by making a conscientious decision to change. I got to change. I need to change the way I talk. And it starts from a hurt. Oftentimes people run their mouth because it started from a hurt. Somebody hurt them and they couldn't get back at them. It seemed like they got away. No, they didn't get away. Whoever hurt you, whatever was done to you, and they did it intentionally, they're going to get it. God said, vengeance is mine. Don't worry about it. Let it go. See, some of you, you're stuck because you still hold it on. That's why you run your mouth. Let it go. Let God deal with it. God going to fix that. You just work on you. Let God fix you. That's what you need to do, and say, God, help me. Help me. Help me where I'm weak at. God, I believe, but help my unbelief. My mouth problem, my gossip problem. Help me with my mouth, God. Deliver me from my mouth. And when you begin to do that, God will help you. He will help you, and he will change your language. I'm done, but be careful of your mouth. Integrity. A good name is to be preferred more than riches. And if you're a leader and you run in your mouth, God can't trust you. My spiritual father always told me that. If you run your mouth, if God give you somebody and someone come to you in confidence and you can't keep it, God can't trust you. God ain't going to trust you. That's why there's so many preachers that are being shut down. They're anointed, but they can't be trusted because they go from church to church and they have sex with all the women and the men. God can't trust you. And ultimately, depending on God's grace for you over your life, you're about to be killed because God can't give you when you misrepresent God's holiness. And see, that's something that people don't talk about no more. They don't talk about it. Preachers don't talk about it. They talk about the anointing. They talk about love. They talk about getting along, but they don't talk about holiness. God say, be ye holy for I'm holy. That's the standard holiness. That's where power is at. Abraham was holy. Noah was holy. God recognized holiness. God recognized a sincere heart. When your heart is right, you can make mistakes. You can have habits. But if your heart is right, God can trust you. I'm done. Have a good morning.